Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
After all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Oh, do you believe in love after love after love? We really need an auto-tune for this part. I believe something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough. No. The kids are missing out these days, aren't they? Like, I mean, I love music and, you know, there's some good stuff coming out still, but the kids are really missing out. Like, if you're not in the know yet, go play Share on Spotify.
But, I mean, yeah, classics. But it's so weird. TikTok brings back so many things. Like, I grew up when I was coming, like, the Yeah, Yeah, Yeahs were big. And there's a song now that's just, like, all over TikTok. TikTok has this power to just, like, bring things back. What's the Yeah, Yeah, Yeah song? Now I'm just blanking on it. Well, Liam, producer Liam, on the pod, look it up, and we can start the chat.
Gosh, demanding much. All right, so we've just had Jack Simpson, two-time Australian barista champion, who's also placed third and second and third in the World Barista Championship in two separate occasions. Really good chat. I mean, if you're ever wondering how barista competition works, or if you want to compete in one yourself, I think you need to listen to that episode.
Yeah, great episode to listen to. And I think we want to get him back. He was keen to get back. And I want to just like, we've done the deep dive on his competing and that. Now it's like, just get him in and just talk coffee. Just talk like the transformation of it, what's happening, where it's going. I think he'd have a lot to say and a lot of really great opinions.
You know, someone came into the cafe the other day and they were talking about podcasting, and they said they did a podcast about something to do with real estate. And I was like, oh, cool. And I said, oh, yeah, I do a podcast as well about coffee. They just kind of looked at me and they go, coffee? What's there to talk about coffee?
Oh, yeah, real estate. How good's real estate?
I was about to say.
How good's real estate? And wearing was he like 5'4", wearing a she. Well, you know, I was gonna just male shame someone for being like, you know how real estate people are always like
slimy.
Yeah, slimy little small men.
Yeah, they've got those. They wear the boat shoes without the socks and pants.
Yucky, stinky feet. Did we get a song call? Do we know what we're talking about?
Yeah, Maps.
Yeah, Maps. How's that go?
Mm-hmm.
Is it there?
Yeah. Maps, here you go.
And you're going to have to sing it for us because we don't want to get, you know.
Oh, no, wait. They don't love you like I love you. Wait.
Yeah.
They don't
There's a
love
dance
you
with
like
that.
I love you. Anyway, but as we were saying before, sponsored now.
Yeah.
Eco Barista.
Hashtag sponsored.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, we love Eco
Yeah,
Barista.
We love Eco Barista.
Yeah.
Well, we do. How good that we both use them before we got them as a sponsor, because you don't feel like an absolute scumbag just selling stuff on here. You're like, great product, eco-friendly, recyclable, compostable.
If you got a coffee business, just jump on ecobarista.com.au, sign up to the email, get 50% off, or you can just go on Automentum, connect with them, and
15% off.
That's what I'm doing right now. Yep.
You know, the average, what were you saying? The inflation, what is it? The average?
Oh, well, the government's goal of inflation is 2 to 3% each year.
Well, it's 15%, saving a lot there. And speaking of sponsors, we want to do an event that we've done since we chatted last. We've done absolutely nothing to help organise. I was wondering, I was like, we haven't heard from anyone. And I realised the podcast where we announced it probably hasn't gone out yet.
Not yet.
So, yes, we want to do this event, end of the year. We want to meet everyone. We want to get it going.
It'll happen in December, guys.
It'll happen in December. We want to get people on board. I guess we're pushing for Eco Barista to help us sponsor this one and bring it to life. Get a little cash. Give it back to you. What prizes can we give away to the listeners, you know? Let's see if we can get some machines.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember when you did that thing with Sunbeam where you gave away, like, how many coffee machines did you give away?
12. I did the 12 days of Christmas with 12 coffee machines. Hit them all around Melbourne.
And that was pretty creative as well. I was like, damn, I hope I get one.
That was why. I tell you what happened as well. So first day, I was worried. I'm like, what if... So context for those who don't know. For Sunbeam, they asked me to do a paid promotion with them doing something for Christmas. And I was like, what about instead of like paying me, if you just give me like a ton of machines, and I'm going to, for 12 days of Christmas, I'm going to hide them all around Melbourne, and I'll post where I am with subtle hints on Instagram, and then people have to come and find me. First one there gets a machine. First day, I'm like, oh, what if no one comes? Like, this is awkward. we post the video, 10 minutes pass. And I'm like, oh, God, this will be so embarrassing if no one comes. 15 minutes down the hill in the park, just see this guy just sprinting. Then behind him, I see another person sprinting. On that first day, within the first 10 minutes, 15 people showed up. And I was like, oh my God, this is so... And I had nothing to give any of them. And so I was like, we need to take coffee from now on to give to the people who show up late. The next few days, the quickest one that we got, someone got there in 3 minutes. We even went out to a reservoir in like Warrandyte, and someone was there in 10 minutes from like where we were. So it was insane.
How did they get the intel?
Well, they all set notifications on the post so that they could be there first. There was two times where before I'd even hidden it, people came up to me and said, oh my God, you're hiding the machine. I found you. I'm like, I haven't even posted the video yet. People have just seen me.
So did they just camp out there and claim it?
No. Oh, no. Well, then I changed position. There was one time I was at like the market and someone came and we were like, we have to find somewhere else. We had to drive to another location. And on the last day, we were at Southern Cross Station. Someone got there in like 3 minutes. Apparently they were just down waiting for their train and saw the video. And they're like, he's just up the stairs and like sprinted. I wonder whether they'd seen me and followed and just secretly like,
No, I like that.
knew the play. And then on that day, within the 10 minutes, 40 people were at Spencer Street Station, which was lovely. Got to meet some people, gave away some coffee. By the end, I was like, I got to get out here. And then some girl that I'd gone on one date with on Hinge at the time rocks up. And I'm like, hey. She's like, yeah, I saw you post a video. I'm like, I've given away the machine. She's like, yeah, no, I just wanted to come down and say hi. I was like, Sonam, absolute legend, my business partner, just goes like, oh, so sorry, we've got to run to this next thing. Ron's got to go.
With the assist.
Just with the assist.
Date didn't go well.
See ya.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, no, it was fun. It's just fun, It's just not right.
I think you need to, did you find it hard finding the correct locations?
There was a balance. If I was to do it again, I'd go more difficult. I had this like anxiety that no one was going to come. And so like they started out just like kind of iconic places. Like we were in like Fitzroy Gardens, the Botanic Gardens, a laneway in Melbourne. Like they were kind of easy to get to spots, but I wanted to just have subtle hints in the background as I made the video. And that's why we went harder when we were like, let's go out to a reservoir. Let's go out to like some random national park or whatever. But if I was to do it again, I'd definitely do it harder.
I have something else I want to talk about in the coffee break that's somewhat unrelated to coffee itself. But remember how a few weeks ago we had Bangin Sangas on?
Oh, bang-a-lang-a-ding-dong.
Bang-a-lang-a-ding-dong. Bangin Sangas. Anyway, he's I've really been following his journey since then.
Yeah.
And he's really somewhat of a bit of an almond croissant
connoisseur. Yeah.
Connoisseur of the almond croissants.
Oh, imagine a connoisseur almond croissant ice cream. Detour.
He's been almond croissant ice cream. Hang on a second. That's actually really good.
Ice cream sandwich, but almond croissant.
See, I went to a place that had a buttered baguette flavor of ice cream.
Yes.
It was awesome. Fluffy torpedo.
Fluffy torpedo,
I'll
yes.
give you my fluffy torpedo.
Yeah, okay.
That's an amazing ice cream joint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
insane.
think, you know how bakeries are kind of having their sort of heyday in Melbourne right now? I think sandwiches are sort of, entering the twilight of their era. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe ice cream sort of has a big comeback.
Yeah. I've always thought it would be a good idea to do an ice cream store, but you're like, well, no one wants ice cream unless it's summer. It needs to be like cold soupy ice cream. And it's like summer, you got ice cream. Winter, you turn the big holes where the tubs are into soup things and you sell soup.
What if you're doing pies,
quick
though?
shape, yeah.
What if you're doing pies, like sticky date puddings?
Ooh.
Sticky date puddings, rhubarb pies, apple pies.
Yep.
Man, pies
Look
go
at
off
the
in the
pie.
States.
Pecan pies.
Yeah, yes.
Pumpkin
bring
pies.
Let's make pies big.
Yeah.
I cut you off. You're talking about almond croissants, Bangin Sangas.
Oh, I've lost my thought.
It was a connoisseur.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
just saying they have their heyday.
Well, I was talking about the almond croissants, but he's out there judging them left, right, and center.
Yeah.
I mean, go follow Bangin Sangas, guys.
Yeah. Lovely dude. Reached out to me after the pod. Wants to grab a beer and a feed. Lovely guy.
Actually, after our episode, I got his Nando's.
You got?
Well, you're right. So sorry. I was going to say, Rohan beautifully on a silver platter ordered me a, bang-a-lang sang a ding dong from Nando's.
The Perry Pineapple Sanger.
The Perry Pineapple, yeah, Sanger. as he left to go home while I edited and stayed late.
Yeah. You want to play this game?
It's fine. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Want to play this game?
And it was delicious. And I sent Bangers a little review as I ate it, and it was wicked. And he was like, "Hell yeah, man, delicious." Legend.
And it was
Absolute
good?
legend. Yeah, it was actually delicious. I'm such a fan of pineapple in there.
I haven't had Nando's in ages.
What he was talking about on the pod with the pumpkin seeds with chili oil and seasoning that he's got like a bucket of from Nando's.
Oh.
It's in it. I had it. I was like, oh, that's a freaking pumpkin seed. That's what's so good about it.
What did he say? He was like, he makes a sandwich that's just ricotta, rice, and chili or something.
Yes.
Chili oil or something like that.
Man.
Chili oil
Chili oil can make anything good.
Oh, I love chili oil.
Yeah,
I don't understand people that don't enjoy chili. But I've got another crisis that's coming on.
Oh.
So
It's happening, Kirk.
So 6 weeks a year, Spice Mix closes, right? You know, they're hard to break, but they've unfortunately the owner's father has actually passed away, and you know the owner's Hindu, and in Hinduism they have a long mourning period. So he's decided to close the shop and go away, mourn his father, and you know, shout out to you, Harry. I hope you and your family are doing well. But it's kind of creating a crisis for me because they're taking a 6 week break, and then they're taking an extra 6 weeks on top of that. You know, I can deal with that. 3 months without Spice Mix, you know, bigger things going on in the world. The owner's got his things, got family time, got to take time off. But my girlfriend's also going away for 2 months. And so
the Sara Lee freezer cakes are going to be going off the roof.
This is a long time without, you know, my usual access to curry. And quite frankly, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I mean, hold on, but you're both on the shred, right? This will either help or hinder.
Well, curry is, you know, complementary to shredding. If
I'm especially on the veggie side. If you're not going into the fuller, richer ones, but I'm just hoping this sends you into a spiral of like freezer dinners and.
No, I won't be broken. I won't be defeated. Look, I've got a few backup places, but like they're not. It's kind of like my A tier that they kind of rely on. You know, it's like going to see the chiropractor for me. Like you know, you got to go get things put back into place. You've got to go get your back sorted. I don't know what I'm going to do.
How often do you go? Like weekly?
To Spice Mix? I don't go weekly. Like I go pretty frequently, but you know, I have my girlfriend's curry every second night. You know, I live off curry.
Yeah.
So, you know, what am I going to do here? I don't know.
We'll check in with your curry crisis.
Yes. No, and it is indeed a crisis. But you mentioned something there, Liam, that I want to bring up, the shred. You know, we, as listeners to this pod would know, that you and I have a battle incoming for the shred. Now, I had a few after that. I think it was like a week or two of just solid gluttony from me.
Yeah.
But I'm back on track.
Oh, good.
And I'm coming for you.
Yeah, boy.
So I'll probably put on a few kegs just to sort of even the field.
Even it out.
But now you and me, we're back. And
I had the
I'm
reverse.
racing.
I had a great 2 weeks where I dropped like 2 kegs, feeling good. And I haven't had a bad few weeks, but it's just been, you know, I find if it's just like, if it's that 1 or 2 things a week that throw it out of whack, it's just like the whole week's gone. Sorry, the dog's under the camera. Woody, get on the couch. Come on, mate.
But you know what?
Up you get.
What brought this on for me was and this is something that might reflect, sort of resemble someone listening's life. I went away to Sydney to see my family not long ago, and like I've been just really, really smashing it at the cafe and doing this and working really hard. And we've had a few things, like the cafe's growing, so it's just getting busier and busier, which means my work, which is great position to be in, but my work's, you know, getting more intense, sort of thing. I think I slept for like almost 4 days straight. Not really, but like during the day, I'm taking naps, you know, I'm sleeping solid at night, sort of thing. You don't really know you're burnt out until you take a holiday. Like, you don't really know you need a holiday until you take one. So if you're working really flat out, I want to say to the listener, and you can probably add into this as well, take the adequate time. You know, really need to, you come back feeling so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, I mean, with eating and with that kind of weight loss journey, it's like those are the times where it becomes bad. And I've had those weeks where it's like working, you know, I think last week I was doing like 2 to 3, like 16, 18-hour days where it's just like from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And that's the moments where you're like, oh, I'm just going to get such and such or this or that, or I'm going to just order or whatever it is. That's where it's like, you know, it really shows that when you take care of yourself mentally, everything else is a lot easier.
Yeah, and we some of the guests like Jack, who we've just had on, he's a rigorous, you know, he works out a lot.
He looks good.
He's in good shape.
Yeah.
Lachlan Ward, who we've had on the podcast before, he's like a really competitive runner. And I was asking him recently, like, what do you why do you run so much? And he's like, well, I mean, it's like, I don't know what I'd do without it. Like, I wouldn't be anywhere near as successful with my job or anything like that, because that physical activity just, it kind of recharges his batteries in other ways. And like, I've been back on the exercise train for like 2 weeks now. So yeah, I'm basically on steroids and I'm like jacked and I'm a professional athlete. But
I just don't have that thing that people talk about where it's this like fantasy where they're talking about like what it is. Like I can get into a rhythm, and when I'm in a rhythm with running or doing something, yes, it's easier and you force yourself to do it. And the days that you don't want to do it are the days where you have to make yourself do it. So you get past that barrier. But I've done it, you know, I've been in periods where I've like run consistently 4 times, 5 times a week for, you know, 6 months to a year kind of thing. And it never recharges my batteries. I'm never just like, oh, I'm revitalized for this. I'm like, it's always a push for me. I'm not feeling this thing that people talk about.
So you don't sleep better. You don't like.
No. See, I do. But I had a bit of an injury last year. So I had supraspinatus, bursitis, and tendonitis in my left shoulder.
Bursitis.
Like
I'm beside myself.
Just all these inflamed tendons in my left shoulder.
Yeah.
And like I was boxing at the time. I wanted to be an amateur boxer, like, you know, and do a fight. But like it just got to a point where like I could barely use my shoulder anymore. And I had to actually get a cortisone injection and all that sort of stuff to reduce the swelling. And it still like gives me trouble now. But I've spoken to some like physios and stuff like that I'm friends with, and they're just like saying, you know, you got to build up some muscles in your back, which will relieve tension on your shoulder, yada, yada, yada. So hence why I'm doing that.
Yeah. Now, just jumping back to jumping back to the old Jack. Do you have to do like media training when you are competing?
No, not
Do you
at
reckon
all.
that? I felt like it felt like he was like this media trained guy, like so articulate and spoken, but then whenever anything would come up about like, now I want to clarify that with the other competitors and that, this is the respect that I have, and I'm not putting this forward. I thought he was very like well spoken and kind of covered his tracks on all sides to make sure that there was no extra hot takes coming out of this.
But he's a genuine guy. And
Yeah.
I think he's kind of in the position now that Mikhail, who finished ahead of him, was in before.
Yeah.
So, you know, having to, and we even, if I can recall the quotes, like, I've been through the fire,
Yeah.
you know. And, yeah, Mikhail, you know, can you imagine, like, doing that, putting
He felt
everything
broken when he went up there. Like Mikhail gave his like speech at the start of his World Barista Comp, and he was just like, you know, I didn't know if I wanted to do it again.
But-
I've been through the thing. I took years off.
But that's something we all reflected on at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of, you know, one of the reasons why he probably won is he sort of elicited this response in people, or this thought in people that a lot of people could relate to.
Yeah.
Which is that, you know, I've done this, I've tried and tried and tried and failed and failed and failed, and now I'm finally here and I'm able to succeed, or I'm at peace with things.
And that thing with Jack as well, I think it's like he spoke about it like, you know, I think you brought it up, bro. It's like from the outside, like making a 15-minute speech. He goes, "Yeah, easy," and we're like, "Wait a second, no." That is actually really difficult to be that succinct, that clear, and to fill that amount of time. That's actually a pretty intense amount of time.
Well,
And-
yeah, memorizing a 15-minute speech off by heart is one thing, but then do it while you're trying to accurately make the best espresso of your life. You know, it's a lot, and you feel the pressure of the crowd and the judges. It's a lot.
Yeah. Now, look, we're running out of time here. I know we've got limited time on our SD card, so we've got to move quick. But a little bit of mailbag. We've got to write in from our friend Alex, who listens to the pod. He was kind of pitching the idea after listening to one of our latest eps, where what about the idea of like a Netflix coffee show? We're talking about comps. We're talking about that. What about some kind of show that dives into it for Netflix? And the question is, I'm like, to be honest, comps are a bit boring. Or maybe that's just me. I'm like, I like watching the winners or like the high end, but like in general, I find them pretty boring. How do you spice it up? Like, how do you?
I actually pitched this to Sonam a few months ago.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be cool if we collectively made our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called it Barista.
Yeah.
And kind of like, you know, went and documented some shops in Melbourne, then travelled to another country like, I don't know, Seoul or...
Each app could maybe cover a competitor that it all culminates at the end.
Have you seen Chef's Table?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of like Chef's Table, but the barista edition.
Yeah.
I also want a little shout out. This is a little topical. I've been playing the Rogue Invitational. This is a CrossFit kind of competition, and the way that they televise it. But there's this account called the Buttery Bros. Oh yeah, so sorry. There's the Buttery Bros that do exactly that. They follow competitors, and they do an episode per competitor, and kind of see their life and how their approach. And yeah, we
Look,
totally do
if
it.
you want to sponsor that, anyone out there, let's
Yeah.
go. Like, well, I would love to make that.
Yeah. And speaking of sponsors, thank you again to our sponsors, Eco Barista. Best coffee bags and cups going around in town. All your coffee needs for the... Would you say you're an eco warrior?
No, I'm an eco barista.
Oh, well, that's great. So check out ecobarista.com.au. Get 15% off your first purchase when you sign up to their mailing list. And, we want to plan this event coming up. So if you want to participate, help out in any way, we'll be organising that. Make sure to write in about that or just about anything at hello@itsjustcoffeepod.com. Anything else from you, Kirk?
No, I think on that note, we shall coffee break out.
Yeah, the coffee break is broken.
Cue intense.